Now we want snakes on our plane. I'm tired of all these. They're having the snake. They're on their plane. All right, snakes on our plane. Snakes on our plane, folks. Let's just drop this hour time potion now. Because you know I want it. You know I want it. I want it all. I want it all. Hey, Noodles. Joined us during employment chat. Employment chat. We're talking about the pros and cons of our capitalist society when it comes to employment terms. No, I should give them some click damage while I do this. 410s is the best. Look, I'm a big fan of 410s. Man, we tried so hard. We tried so many different things when I was working in insurance to try to get them to build a better schedule. I mean, we were as a department, we were just one section, but we were the whole internet team. And as a team, we kicked major ass. We were just consistently doing great work when compared to other places, and we would cover for other regions. Like we managed an entire region, and when other regions had issues, we would step in and help them. Like we were badass. But man, they just would not work with us at all. They were like, well, but then if this other department finds out, they're going to want it too. And I'm like, oh, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid you give your employees a better work environment, but get the same work out of them, and maybe even at a higher quality because of it. Work 42 hours a week for 2 weeks and then get 2 weeks off. I mean, look, if that pays enough, nice. Nice. Work remote and get to show with my dog. Nice. My only problem with, I mean, I work remotely, obviously, and my only problem with it is they just, people don't want to pay the same as like they would if you were in that same place, and it's like, why? I'm doing the same freaking job. I'm doing the same job. It can be a little annoying. Also, why the government's starting to push back on what's allowed to be classified as contract work, because most of the time it's BS. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I missed the good stuff. No, I mean, like, we're still going. We're still going. Wow, 6/16s? No, nope, nope. That sounds like. I mean, that starts getting into. We got an ad break. Starts getting into like, I used to know people who would go to Alaska for the fishing season and they'd make their money for the year basically in Alaska, and then do whatever they wanted the rest of the year. But the hours and the conditions were just horrible. Oh man, we got. It's not showing me the ad break again. We're in an ad break. I want to reply to this comment, but we're on an ad break. Someone's wrong on the internet, and I can't correct them. It's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're not right. That's the way we do it, right? It's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're not right. But no, there are times when something can be a correct answer but not be the right answer. That makes sense, right? Okay, folks, we're back from the ad break. So I'm going to correct something that's not wrong but also isn't right. Because again, sometimes an answer can be correct but not be accurate entirely. Noobles, you said my friend used to say the beatings will continue until morale approves. And Calgaden says that's from the movie Brazil. Well, it might be, but this is actually from sailing, whether by both pirates and Navians. So this is signs that used to be on ships, on wooden tall ships. Yeah, I know because we had one of those on our sailboat. But yeah, it's a reference. That's what it's a reference to. That reference has been around for centuries. It's not from a movie. It's not from a movie. They may have used it in a movie. So you're right. I mean, if it's in the movie Brazil, great. But that's literally what they used to do to sailors when, if they had low morale, they'd beat them. They'd beat them. Because sailors were a lot of times, especially in like in the Navy and the military for European countries, they weren't volunteers. They were forced into it. The stories were you'd go out drinking with your friends and wake up at sea, like because you'd pass out. They did. You're in the military now because we need a dispendable sailor. Or disposable sailor, excuse me, expendable. I was combining disposable and expendable. I think that's a new word. Dispendable, lurking rider. Can I get a judgment on that one? Dispendable. No, I'm not insulting you. I'm describing you. I gotta remember that one. Yeah. Oh, if you think that, you're just ignorant. Did you just insult me? No, I just described you. Not your fault, Cal. Come on. It's just, again, that's where people learn things from. Isn't necessarily where they come from, right? You're judging me on dispendable? Wow. I meant, can I get that that's a good new term? We can just combine disposable and expendable and call it dispendable. Press gang, yeah. Let's play What Would Champions Do for a Klondike Bar? I don't even know where we would go with that. Those commercials were already always weird. What's the spelling of dispendable? I think you got it. Calgame. Yeah, I think that's what we should call. I think that's the new term for employees companies don't really care about. Like they'll just work them until they literally die or quit. They're dispendable. They're dispendable. We're 17 points in Scrabble. Oh no. Hold on, now I gotta hold on. So expendable means you think it's acceptable to get rid of them, abandon them, or allow them to be destroyed when they're no longer needed. Wow. I mean, that's kind of a good. Yeah, that's kind of it. Disposable, though, is also intended to be used once or until no longer useful, then thrown away. I mean, kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing. Feels like the same thing to me. Huh. So they're going to get their employees from a dispenser. Yeah, it's called an employment service. It's like I was driving by some place the other day. Oh, it was a restaurant. It's an established restaurant. It's been around for quite a while in this town. And they had a sign, and on their sign up front it says, "Now hiring all positions." And I was like, "That's the biggest red flag I've ever seen." That's the biggest red flag I've ever seen. Well, that I've seen lately, because there was a bigger one once on the Dish TV, Dish Network. They had offices. They might still have offices near here, and they had a sign out in front of the place, and then below, not in the like the I can put letters up and make a sign place, which is what the restaurant was like, but in an actual permanent side, always hiring. And I was like, hell no. Hell no. Both of those huge red flags. Look, if a place is always hiring, that means they've always got people quitting because they're treated horribly. And if someone's hiring for all positions, even in a short term, that means they pissed off their entire staff and their staff quit or just stop showing up. Same thing. And now they've got to replace them. Huge red flags. Huge red flags. Man, and Dish was actually paying it. I thought about Dish at first, and then I saw that sign, and I was like, nope, because Dish was paying well. But I was like, oh, I get it now. That's why they have a high starting salary. Because people will be like, that's a good paycheck, though. Then they go do it, and they're like, oh my God, not even for that paycheck. You know? Under new management. That one you never know. I mean, they could have just gotten bought out. They could have had a bad situation before and now be in a better one. That's hard to say. But hiring for all positions in an established restaurant, woof. Woof. Yeah, hiring for all positions is only acceptable if it's a brand new business, and it's not a chain that already has like multiple that are owned. Like, because like man, around here, people will buy like one franchise. They'll have multiple franchises in the same place, and then people won't want to like move to the new one. Like, usually you bring someone over at least. You don't. What's going on? Been at my current place 18 years. When I got to my fourth month, customers going, "Wait, you're still there? Wow." Oh, no. I hope you were hired when things started to get better, and that's why, because clearly that's a bad sign. Mana speed item is capped at 1501. Okay, but what's the value at 1501? I guess. Well, that's getting spoilery. I don't know. We're gonna find out on Wednesday. I'm sure someone will someone will actually cap it and post a picture. I'm looking forward to seeing how much it actually increases a run. You know what I mean? It could open up. Well, I mean, in a Briv gem formation, it might change a lot of things, right? You may not have to worry about specific. Well, in all gem formations, you may not have to worry about doing specific free plays. It could open the door to a vast variety of places to more very like specifically build formations around. Could be interesting. Malco had a job, meaning one. He worked there 52 years, 8 months. Wow. Did he have a pension? I'm guessing he had a pension. Like that job gave him a pension. Item cap is on the blog post? It wasn't. I read the blog post. What? Oh, it's on the picture. I didn't see it. I totally didn't. I did not expect that. Well done. Good job, Lauren. I think Lauren usually takes these pictures. Okay, never mind. Okay. Cool. I'll look for that now. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever looked for the cap above that. But I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Do we have my speed feat yet? No. 11,835. We need 12,5 for Human speed feat. We're going to get carefully balanced. This one. Walking lessons. I get the 40% boost to speed. I'm not going to try to save up for this one right now. That'll be later on. But I want this one. I also would like this one. The path is clear. Ooh, I forgot about that. It's basically a mini Shandy effect. Still think I want this one. I don't know. Folks, what do we think? Base value. I'm looking at a 40% onto this currently. So that's going to be what? Another... Wouldn't that take it up to like... Am I thinking about this right? Wouldn't that take it up to 75%? So it would go from working half the time to working 3/4 of the time? I think I still want this. I feel like I still want it. Yeah. I think we're still going to go with carefully balanced. I'll look forward to doing another real deep push somewhere now that we've got so much power on our account, so I can finally get the slot 4 feed for everyone. I didn't get for everyone. Didn't get it for everyone. He had a pension, that's what I thought. Was that picture taken before or after Justin took another look at it? That's a good question. Before. I guarantee it's before. Well, I won't guarantee it. I am leaning towards before. I think those blog posts get made up fairly well in advance, and he was only thinking of taking a look at it yesterday. So, but we'll see. Who knows? Yeah, and well, that's back in the day when not only did jobs want employees to stick around, but they also paid them well, gave them pensions, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that just unfortunately for the vast majority of people that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, I know the mini Shandy feed is like a small speed potion. It is. It's similar. But it's a little less than half of a speed potion. 10%. That's 25%. Right? 1.25 is going to be 25% faster. It's a mini. It's a tiny speed potion. Super tiny. But I think the triggering the credit more often should be faster. I don't know. I can't do that math. You can't do golden shiny. You can gild it, which means you can either make it shiny or golden. But we don't know if that item can be made golden right away. They have to actually create the golden for it and put it in the shop first. But you can put a shiny on it for sure. Yeah, Gromma's the rework champion for this next event, and Diana is the new champion. Gromma's, we went over both of these earlier. We can always go over them again if people want, but Gromma's looking good. Diana's looking good. Yeah. Use your free time guy. That's fine. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. That's more stuff for Gromma. I mean, sure, you could have put it somewhere else, but yeah. Her blog dropped yesterday. The rework champion drops on Thursdays. The new champion drops on Fridays. Noon, Pacifically speaking. Really want to see the speed effect in action? Yeah, me too. Me too. Like I said, I want to see how much it changes the decision making for Briv gem farming. I think people will still go for quick transition places because it's just going to make those even better. Because then you'll get effectively some similar to a quick transition, but on all the others, but not as quick, right? So it should just double down on the places you're going, but it could open up some other opportunities. Again, the list of Flex champions is already in the game. People don't like me saying this, but it is. It's right here. Evelyn, Keelik, Bridal, Jaheira, Mehen, Nordum, Nixie, and Evandra. That's it. They don't release a list in advance, but you can check the achievements for the upcoming event to see who they moved in, because it's 6 original champions plus 2 that they moved in. Plus 2 that they moved in. And they moved in. I think they moved in Nixie and Evandra, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really. Anyway, they moved 2 other champions in there that were somewhere else. Otherwise, the only official way you'll see the Flex champions is probably in the event blog, which drops when the event comes out, in which case you'd be able to see them in the game anyway. But if you want a sneak preview, the achievements. Yeah, whenever I'm doing like Briv gem farming and I have it on a different screen, I usually try to have something covering it so I don't see all the transitions going super fast. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Man, I am really torn. I was going to do the carefully balanced feat, but now I'm like, mini Shandy? I mean, we have Shandy, but what about second Shandy? What about second Shandy? the way it feels. Oh, man. Because it does. It isn't just an additive bonus. So if we have speed potions going, it's just going to be even better. Right? So like right now, we'd be going even faster. I just feel like, I mean, currently we'd be going from 50% roughly chance to get double quest items to 75, I think is where that would take us. But that's only right now. It would get better with more item levels. I gotta do the carefully balanced one because it has the potential to get better. All things being equal, MON or Esmeralda? I would go Esmeralda. Personally. I was gonna say, didn't we get some contracts? There we go. 8,000 banked for the next event. Oh, that's right. It was one of those giveaways. I'm like, how did I get a prismatic vial on this account? Meta event. I'll never use Esmeralda for armor crushing. But yeah, but that's a good reason to use her. I don't ever use MON, so that's why if you ask me, I'm going to use the one I actually use, which is Esmeralda. I guess I've never really. Oh, let me look at MON. MON basically creates favored foes. She's got some multiplicatively stacking. Got a shield. I don't know. I mean, she's okay, but I guess to me she doesn't stand out as like. If you're getting into the favored foe thing, then she's part of that favored foe group. But I find Esmeralda more useful. Because I want that niche. I want that niche support that gives me double credit on all segmented health. All of it. Humon only does it for bosses. Whereas Esmeralda does it for everyone. And it's only bosses and yeah, only bosses. But Esmeralda is like everything with segmented health, you get extra credit on it. I'm ahead and Barrowin in your free time, get his champs you don't have yet. Yeah, I mean, well, only do if you plan on getting Mehen as a flex champion, Chaos, then don't time gate them. But if you don't, they're fully on the table. Because again, there's some solid champs. There's some solid champs in the next event. So yeah, it just depends on if you plan to get them or not. If you plan to get them in the next event, no need to time gate them. But if you don't, still an option. When getting the speed potion feat lets you get the other one quicker. Well, the thing is either of them would. I'm trying to figure out which one's the fastest right out the gate, and I'm having a hard time doing that comparison. So, but the thing is I actually want both. So I think ultimately, I'm just going to pick one and then we'll get that one. And then the next one, the other one's going to be next up on the list of things to get. The speed feats those 12-5 speed feats are worth picking up. The 50k ones early on, not so much. And I don't know if, because the mini shandy one basically requires that I'm using shandy and speed potions, I think, to make up the difference. But I'm using my last speed potion here. We only got 15 minutes, so, and if I'm saving up gems for another feat, that means I'm not buying gold chests. There's a lot going on there that isn't just comparing the values, basically, is what I'm saying. Evandra's good to get if you have a neutral DPS. A neutral on the good and evil axis DPS. That's who she buffs. She's very specific. Clearly Thalora. Come on. Oh, here's something to think about. Does Human's we're not using him offline, but does Human's mini shandy feat work offline? Because if it does, then we might want to include him in our overnight offline group. Oh, add in a minute or so, folks. The warning came up for this time. She won't be available tomorrow. She'll be available Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, you may not want to pick. Remember, there's going to be 6 flex champions. You can't get them all. So picking someone that's going to be in the event, like, if you're like, this isn't a champion that I want to have them, but I don't necessarily need them in like tons of gear, you can grab them in a time gate. If there's someone that you really want to have geared up, then wait for the event. There's a good way to think about it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm just wondering if. I think I'm gonna go for the. I think I'm gonna go for the carefully balanced, like we were planning. All right, there's snakes on a plane.